Thousands of years ago, under a sky unpolluted by modern lights, ancient civilizations gazed upward and saw not just stars, but a map to their existence. These early astronomers didn't have telescopes or satellites, yet they unlocked secrets of the cosmos that still influence our world today. How did they do it, and what can their discoveries teach us about the universe we're still striving to understand? In this journey through time, we'll explore the incredible story of how humanity's oldest observations of the night sky laid the foundation for modern science. From the precise calendars of the Mayans to the celestial navigations of Polynesian voyagers, every culture left a mark on our understanding of the cosmos. But this isn't just a story of the past. It's a revelation of how ancient wisdom continues to shape the way we explore the universe today. Get ready to uncover how the stars that guided our ancestors are still lighting the path to our future. Picture this: a Babylonian scholar 2,500 years ago, meticulously recording the position of Venus on a clay tablet. Across the world, an Egyptian priest observes the rising of Sirius to predict the annual flooding of the Nile. Meanwhile, in ancient China, court astronomers chart the heavens to guide imperial decisions. These were the first steps in humanity's quest to understand the cosmos, long before the invention of modern tools. The Babylonians, for instance, developed sophisticated methods to track the moon and planets, creating some of the earliest known astronomical records. Their work not only predicted celestial events but also shaped their understanding of time, leading to the creation of the 7-day week we still use today. The Egyptians, on the other hand, aligned their pyramids and temples with the stars, believing the heavens held the key to life after death. And in China, astronomers saw the sky as a mirror of earthly events, using their observations to inform everything from agriculture to politics. What's fascinating is how these ancient practices weren't just about science, they were woven into the very fabric of their cultures. The stars weren't distant objects, they were guides, omens, and storytellers. This blend of practicality and mythology shows how deeply the cosmos has always influenced human life. Even today, the legacy of these early astronomers lives on, reminding us that the drive to explore the universe is as old as civilization itself. Beyond the practical observations and calculations, ancient astronomy was deeply intertwined with storytelling. The night sky was a canvas for myths, legends, and divine tales that shaped how early civilizations perceived the universe. Take the Greek myth of Orion, the great hunter, whose constellation is said to chase the Pleiades across the heavens. This story wasn't just entertainment, it was a way to explain the movement of stars and their relationship to the seasons. Similarly, in China, the legend of the cowherd and the weaver girl tells of two lovers separated by the Milky Way, allowed to meet just once a year. This tale not only captured the imagination but also marked the timing of the Kixi festival, a celebration rooted in celestial observation. What's remarkable is how these myths served as early attempts to make sense of the cosmos. They transformed abstract patterns into relatable stories, blending human emotion with celestial mechanics. But mythology didn't just explain the stars, it shaped the way people studied them. In many cultures, the gods and heroes of the sky were seen as governing forces, influencing everything from the weather to human fate. This belief drove meticulous observation as priests and scholars sought to interpret divine messages written in the stars. The line between science and spirituality was blurred, reminding us that for ancient astronomers, the heavens were as much a realm of wonder as they were a subject of study. Now imagine standing at the heart of an ancient observatory, where every stone, every angle, and every shadow was meticulously designed to align with the cosmos. Structures like Stonehenge in England or the Mayan pyramids of Chichen Itza weren't just architectural marvels. They were celestial calculators, Built thousands of years before modern technology, these sites were precisely aligned with solstices, equinoxes, and other astronomical events. At Stonehenge, for example, the rising sun on the summer solstice perfectly aligns with the heel stone, casting a dramatic beam of light through the structure. This wasn't a coincidence, it was a testament to the deep understanding ancient cultures had of the sun's movements. Across the ocean, the Mayans constructed El Castillo, a pyramid where the play of light and shadow during the equinoxes creates the illusion of a serpent slithering down the steps. These observatories weren't just tools for tracking time or predicting seasons, they were expressions of a profound connection between the heavens and human life. They served as sacred spaces where science, art, and spirituality converged. Modern researchers are still uncovering the layers of complexity in these designs, marveling at how ancient builders achieved such precision without the tools we have today. What's even more fascinating is how these structures transcended their practical uses. They were symbols of power, knowledge, and a civilization's place in the universe. From the towering pyramids of Mesoamerica to the enigmatic stones of Europe, these observatories remind us that our ancestors saw the stars not just as distant lights, but as guides that shaped their world. Picture a time when the night sky wasn't just a canvas of stars but a map of destiny. In ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China, astrologers meticulously charted celestial movements, believing they held the key to predicting events on Earth. This wasn't just superstition, it was humanity's first attempt to find patterns in the universe. By tracking the paths of planets and the positions of constellations, these early scholars laid the foundation for what would later become astronomy. Astrology and astronomy were once inseparable, both rooted in the same desire to make sense of the cosmos. Ancient Babylonian astrologers, for instance, created detailed records of planetary motions, which later influenced Greek astronomers like Ptolemy. In China, celestial observations were used not only to predict the future, but also to guide agricultural cycles and imperial decisions. The belief that the heavens influenced human affairs drove these cultures to develop precise tools and methods for observing the stars. Over time, as scientific inquiry evolved, astronomy emerged as a separate discipline focused on understanding the physical universe, while astrology continued as a practice tied to personal and societal interpretation. Yet, the legacy of astrology remains deeply intertwined with the history of science. It taught us to look up, to seek order in the seemingly chaotic, and to question how the universe operates. Even today, the zodiac and constellations remind us of this shared heritage, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the skies. While modern science has moved beyond the mystical aspects of astrology, its role in inspiring the systematic study of the heavens is undeniable. It was, in many ways, the spark that ignited our journey to decode the cosmos. While ancient civilizations gazed at the stars with wonder, it was the Greeks who took that wonder and turned it into a science. Picture Pythagoras not just as the man behind the famous theorem, but as a visionary who saw the universe as a symphony of mathematical harmony. He proposed that celestial bodies moved in perfect, predictable patterns, a radical idea that shifted the focus from divine whims to observable laws. Then there was Aristotle, who argued the Earth was at the center of the cosmos, a concept that would dominate Western thought for centuries. Though we now know this geocentric model was incorrect, it was a crucial step in framing the heavens as a system that could be studied rather than simply worshipped. Enter Ptolemy, who took these ideas further by creating intricate models to explain planetary motion. His work, while complex and sometimes inaccurate, was groundbreaking for its time, blending meticulous observation with mathematical precision. What makes the Greek approach so remarkable is how they bridged the gap between myth and mathematics. They didn't abandon the stories of gods and heroes that had shaped their culture, but instead used them as a springboard for deeper inquiry. This fusion of logic and imagination laid the groundwork for the scientific method, showing that the cosmos could be explored through both reason and wonder. The Greeks didn't just look at the stars, they asked how they moved and why, transforming astronomy from a mystical practice into a disciplined study. Their legacy reminds us that progress often begins with curiosity, and that even imperfect models can spark revolutions in understanding. By blending the poetic with the pragmatic, they set the stage for centuries of discovery, proving that the universe is as much a puzzle to solve as it is a story to tell. As the torch of knowledge passed from ancient Greece, it found a new home in the Islamic Golden Age, a period of intellectual flourishing that spanned from the 8th to the 13th centuries. Here, scholars didn't just preserve the wisdom of the past, they expanded it, building upon the foundations laid by earlier civilizations. Take Al-Batani, for instance, whose meticulous observations of the stars corrected errors in Ptolemy's work and provided some of the most accurate astronomical data of the medieval world. His calculations of the solar year were so precise that they influenced later European astronomers like Copernicus. Then there was Al-Sufi, whose detailed star charts brought the constellations to life, blending Arabic and Greek traditions to create a celestial map that was both a scientific tool and a work of art. But perhaps one of the most iconic contributions of this era was the astrolabe, a device that allowed astronomers to measure the positions of stars and planets with remarkable accuracy. This ingenious instrument became a symbol of the Islamic Golden Age's blend of innovation and practicality, used not only for astronomy but also for navigation and timekeeping. What's truly remarkable about this period is how it bridged cultures, languages, and ideas. Scholars translated ancient Greek texts into Arabic, ensuring they were preserved for future generations, while also adding their own insights and discoveries. This exchange of knowledge didn't just keep the flame of learning alive, it made it burn brighter, paving the way for the European Renaissance. The Islamic Golden Age reminds us that science thrives when cultures collaborate, and that progress is built on the shoulders of those who dare to question, observe, and innovate. Moving forward in time, we arrive in medieval Europe, where the cosmos was viewed through a lens shaped as much by faith as by curiosity. During this era, the Church played a central role in shaping how people understood the heavens. Astronomy wasn't just a scientific endeavor, it was a spiritual one, with the stars and planets thought to reflect divine order. But this world, you also created resistance to new ideas that challenged established beliefs. One of the most dramatic moments in this tension came with the heliocentric model, which proposed that the Earth revolved around the Sun, not the other way around. At first, this idea was met with skepticism and even hostility, as it seemed to contradict both ancient teachings and biblical interpretations. Enter Nicolaus Copernicus, a Renaissance polymath who dared to question the geocentric model that had dominated for centuries. His groundbreaking work on the revolutions of the heavenly spheres laid the foundation for modern astronomy, though it took years for his ideas to gain acceptance. Then there was Galileo Galilei, who used the newly invented telescope to observe the Moon's craters, Jupiter's moons, and the phases of Venus. These discoveries provided undeniable evidence supporting the heliocentric model, but they also brought him into direct conflict with the Church. Galileo's trial and subsequent house arrest became a symbol of the struggle between scientific inquiry and dogma. Yet, despite these challenges, both Copernicus and Galileo's work ignited a spark that would eventually grow into the scientific revolution. This period reminds us that progress often requires courage, a willingness to question the status quo and seek truth, even in the face of resistance. It's a testament to the enduring human spirit of curiosity and the relentless pursuit of understanding our place in the cosmos. As the Renaissance dawned, humanity's gaze turned once more to the stars, but this time with tools and ideas that would forever change our understanding of the universe. This period, often called the rebirth of learning, wasn't just about rediscovering ancient knowledge, it was about pushing its boundaries. One of the most transformative figures of this era was Johannes Kepler, whose meticulous observations of planetary motion led to his 3 laws of planetary motion. These laws didn't just describe how planets moved, they revealed an underlying mathematical harmony in the cosmos that challenged the notion of chaotic or random celestial behavior. Kepler's work was groundbreaking, but it wasn't the only leap forward. Enter Isaac Newton, whose discoveries in physics and mathematics brought a new level of precision to astronomy. His law of universal gravitation explained not only why planets orbit the sun, but also how celestial bodies influence one another across vast distances. Newton's work was so profound that it laid the foundation for modern physics and became a cornerstone of scientific thought. But what made this era truly revolutionary was the invention of the telescope. For the first time, astronomers could observe the heavens in detail, revealing moons orbiting Jupiter, the phases of Venus, and the craters of our own moon. These observations shattered old assumptions and opened up new questions about the nature of the universe. The Renaissance was more than just a time of discovery, it was a bridge between the ancient world and the modern age. It showed us that the cosmos is governed by laws we can understand, and that curiosity, coupled with ingenuity, can unlock its secrets. This era reminds us that progress often comes from building on the past while daring to imagine a different future. Long before the invention of the compass or GPS, ancient civilizations looked to the stars for guidance, creating intricate star maps that served as both practical tools and profound expressions of their understanding of the cosmos. Among the earliest examples is the Babylonian Emuel, a pin, a collection of clay tablets dating back to around 1000 BC. These tablets meticulously catalogued the movements of stars and planets, offering not just a map of the night sky, but also a calendar that dictated the timing of agricultural activities and religious festivals. Similarly, the Chinese Dunhuang star chart, painted on paper in the late 7th or early 8th century, is one of the oldest surviving star maps in the world. It depicts over 1,300 stars, divided into constellations that reflect the rich mythology and cosmology of ancient China. What's remarkable about these maps is not just their accuracy, but the sheer effort and dedication behind their creation. Without telescopes or modern instruments, early astronomers relied on careful observation and painstaking record-keeping to chart the heavens. These maps were more than just scientific tools. They were a way to connect with the universe, to find order in the seemingly chaotic movements of the stars. For ancient societies, the night sky was a guide in the truest sense. Farmers used the stars to determine planting and harvesting seasons, while sailors navigated vast oceans by aligning their ships with constellations like Ursa Major and Polaris. Beyond their practical uses, these star maps also carried deep symbolic meaning. They represented humanity's quest to understand its place in the cosmos, blending science with spirituality in a way that feels both ancient and timeless. Even today, these early star charts remind us that the stars have always been more than just distant lights. They've been a source of wonder, inspiration, and direction for generations. The ability to measure time was one of the most profound gifts ancient astronomy bestowed upon humanity. For civilizations like the Egyptians, the sun was more than just a source of light. It was the heartbeat of their calendar. The Egyptian solar calendar, created around 4,000 years ago, was one of the earliest attempts to align human activity with the rhythms of the cosmos. It divided the year into 12 months of 30 days each, with 5 additional days dedicated to festivities. This system wasn't just a way to mark the passage of time. It was a tool for survival, ensuring that crops were planted and harvested at the optimal moments. Similarly, the Mayans developed their long count calendar, a complex system that tracked cycles spanning thousands of years. Unlike the Egyptian calendar, which was tied to the solar year, the Mayan system incorporated cycles of the moon and Venus, creating a timekeeping method that was both precise and deeply symbolic. These calendars were more than just practical tools, they were reflections of how these cultures viewed the universe. For the Egyptians, the sun god Ra's journey across the sky mirrored the cycle of life and death, while the Mayans saw time as a series of repeating patterns governed by celestial deities. The precision of these systems is astonishing, especially when you consider the limited tools available to their creators. Yet, these calendars weren't just about marking days or predicting seasons. They were central to the very structure of society, dictating everything from religious ceremonies to agricultural practices. In a world without clocks or smartphones, the stars and the sun were humanity's first timekeepers, helping ancient cultures navigate both the physical and spiritual realms. These early attempts to measure time remind us that astronomy has always been more than just the study of distant stars. It's been a way for humans to make sense of their place in the vast, ever-changing universe. The Mayans stand out as one of the most brilliant civilizations in the history of astronomy, their achievements painting a vivid picture of how deeply they connected the heavens to their daily lives. Unlike many ancient cultures, the Mayans didn't just observe the stars, they built an entire system of knowledge around them. Their long count calendar, for instance, wasn't just a tool for tracking days or years. It was a grand cosmic clock that measured vast cycles of time, some spanning thousands of years. This system allowed them to predict celestial events with astonishing accuracy, from the movements of Venus to the rare occurrences of solar and lunar eclipses. For the Mayans, these celestial events weren't just scientific phenomena. They were messages from the gods, guiding their rituals, their agriculture, and even their architecture. Take, for example, the city of Chichen Itza. Its iconic pyramid, El Castillo, was designed so precisely that during the spring and autumn equinoxes, the play of sunlight and shadow creates the illusion of a serpent slithering down its steps. This wasn't just a feat of engineering, it was a testament to their belief that the cosmos and the Earth were intricately linked. The Mayans also tracked the cycles of Venus, which they associated with their god Kukulkan. They believed the planet's movements influenced warfare and kingship, and they timed their battles and coronations accordingly. Their ability to predict these cycles with such precision, using only rudimentary tools, is a testament to their ingenuity and dedication. What's perhaps most remarkable about the Mayans is how their astronomy wasn't confined to a select group of scholars. It was woven into the fabric of their society. From farmers planting crops to rulers planning military campaigns, the stars guided nearly every aspect of their lives. This integration of astronomy into culture reminds us that the study of the heavens has always been about more than just understanding the universe. It's about understanding our place within it. The Mayans' achievements continue to inspire us, showing how curiosity and observation can unlock the secrets of the cosmos, even without modern technology. In ancient India, the study of the heavens was more than a scientific endeavor. It was a spiritual journey. Rooted in the Vedic traditions, astronomy was seen as a way to understand the cosmic order and humanity's place within it. This blend of science and spirituality gave birth to some of the most groundbreaking ideas in the history of astronomy. Take Aryabhatta, for example. Born in the 5th century, he was one of the first to propose that the Earth rotates on its axis, challenging the prevailing belief that the heavens revolved around us. He also calculated the length of a year with remarkable accuracy, coming within minutes of the modern calculation. But Aryabhata's work didn't stop at observational science. He delved into mathematics, introducing the concept of zero, a revolutionary idea that would transform not just astronomy but all of human knowledge. Centuries later, Brahmagupta built on these foundations, developing theories about planetary motion and gravity that were centuries ahead of their time. What's fascinating about these scholars is how they seamlessly wove their scientific discoveries into a broader spiritual framework. The cosmos, in their view, was not just a physical system to be studied, but a manifestation of divine order. The movements of the planets, the cycles of the stars, all of it was part of a grand, interconnected tapestry. This perspective is most evident in the Jyotisha, a branch of Vedic literature dedicated to astronomy and astrology. The Jyotisha wasn't just about predicting celestial events, it was about understanding the rhythms of life itself. For ancient Indians, the stars were a guide, offering insights into everything from agriculture to personal destiny. This holistic approach to astronomy reminds us that science and spirituality don't have to be at odds. Instead, they can complement each other, offering different but equally valuable ways of understanding the universe. The contributions of ancient Indian astronomers continue to resonate today, not just in the fields of mathematics and physics, but in the broader quest to find meaning in the cosmos. Their work is a testament to the universality of human curiosity, a reminder that the stars have always called us to look up and wonder. Across the vast expanse of time and geography, ancient Chinese astronomers crafted a legacy of celestial observation that remains unparalleled. For millennia, they meticulously tracked the movements of the heavens, recording everything from the sudden brilliance of supernova to the fleeting trails of comets. These records, often written on silk or bamboo, are more than just historical artifacts. They're a treasure trove of data that modern scientists still rely on today. Take the famous supernova of 1054, for instance. Chinese astronomers documented this explosive event in such detail that their notes helped modern astronomers identify its remnant as the Crab Nebula, a cosmic landmark we still study today. But it wasn't just about recording what they saw. The Chinese developed groundbreaking tools to enhance their observations. The armillary sphere, a complex instrument designed to map the positions of celestial bodies, is a testament to their ingenuity. This intricate device, a ringed model of the universe, allowed them to measure the sky with astonishing precision. What's particularly striking is the Chinese approach to astronomy. Unlike some cultures that saw celestial events purely through a mystical lens, the Chinese combined their spiritual beliefs with rigorous scientific methods. They believed the heavens held important messages about human affairs, but they also recognized the value of systematic observation and documentation. This dual perspective allowed them to create a body of work that was both practical and profound. Their records of solar eclipses, for example, weren't just omens but opportunities to refine their understanding of the Earth-Moon-Sun relationship. This blend of curiosity, discipline, and innovation is what makes the Chinese astronomical legacy so enduring. It's a reminder that the quest to understand the cosmos isn't just about discovering new things, it's about building on the knowledge of those who came before us. The Chinese astronomers of antiquity didn't just look at the stars, they listened to them, and their voices still echo through the corridors of modern science. While ancient Chinese astronomers were mapping the heavens with precision, indigenous cultures across the globe were crafting their own profound relationships with the cosmos. Take the Aboriginal Australians, for instance. Their astronomical traditions, some of the oldest in the world, are deeply intertwined with their storytelling, culture, and daily life. They didn't just see stars as distant points of light, they wove them into complex narratives that explained the origins of the land, the seasons, and even human behavior. The Emu in the Sky, a dark constellation formed by the dust lanes of the Milky Way, is a perfect example. To the Aboriginal people, this celestial emu wasn't just a pattern in the stars, it was a guide, signaling the right time to gather emu eggs or plant certain crops. This connection between the sky and the earth was a cornerstone of their way of life, blending practical knowledge with spiritual meaning. Meanwhile, in the vast expanse of the Pacific, Polynesian navigators used the stars to traverse thousands of miles of open ocean. Without compasses or maps, they relied on their deep understanding of celestial patterns, wave movements, and even bird behavior to find their way. The Polynesian star compass, a mental map of the night sky, allowed them to pinpoint directions with astonishing accuracy. What's truly remarkable about these indigenous traditions is their holistic approach. They didn't separate the cosmos from the natural world, they saw them as interconnected. This perspective stands in stark contrast to the more compartmentalized view of modern science, reminding us that there are many ways to understand the universe. Indigenous astronomy isn't just about observing the stars, it's about listening to them, learning from them, and recognizing our place within a larger, living system. These traditions, passed down through generations, offer a rich tapestry of knowledge that continues to inspire and inform us today. They remind us that the night sky is not just a scientific laboratory but a shared heritage, a canvas painted with the stories, dreams, and discoveries of countless cultures across time. The invention of the telescope in the early 17th century didn't just change astronomy, it transformed humanity's entire relationship with the cosmos. Before this groundbreaking tool, the night sky was a realm of mystery, studied with the naked eye and interpreted through the lens of philosophy and myth. But when the telescope emerged, it became a powerful extension of human vision, revealing details of the universe that were once invisible. One of the first to turn this new instrument toward the heavens was Galileo Galilei. With his telescope, Galileo observed the moon's rugged surface, shattering the ancient belief that it was a perfect, smooth sphere. He discovered 4 moons orbiting Jupiter, proving that not everything revolved around the Earth, a direct challenge to the geocentric model that had dominated science for centuries. His observations of the phases of Venus further supported the heliocentric theory proposed by Copernicus, showing that Venus orbited the Sun, not the Earth. These discoveries were revolutionary, sparking debates and reshaping the scientific landscape. The telescope didn't just provide new data, it fundamentally altered how we saw our place in the universe. It bridged the gap between the observational traditions of ancient astronomers and the empirical methods of modern science. Suddenly, the cosmos was no longer a distant, untouchable realm, but a field of exploration filled with complexity and wonder. This tool became the foundation for centuries of discovery, from mapping the planets to uncovering the vastness of galaxies. Galileo's work with the telescope marked a turning point, reminding us that progress often comes from questioning the status quo and daring to look beyond what's immediately visible. The telescope's legacy continues today, as modern instruments build on its principles to peer deeper into space than ever before, uncovering secrets that were once beyond imagination. While modern astronomy relies on cutting-edge technology, it's fascinating to see how much we still depend on the meticulous records left by ancient civilizations. These early astronomers, armed with nothing but their eyes and a deep curiosity, documented celestial events with remarkable precision. Take, for instance, the supernova of 1054, recorded by Chinese astronomers as a guest star that appeared suddenly and shone brightly in the night sky. This observation, preserved over centuries, has helped modern scientists pinpoint the remnants of that explosion, what we now know as the Crab Nebula. Similarly, ancient records of eclipses, like those meticulously tracked by Babylonian astronomers, provide invaluable data for studying the Earth's rotation and the Moon's orbit. These historical accounts act as a bridge across time, allowing us to compare past events with current observations and uncover patterns that span millennia. The work of these early sky watchers wasn't just about documenting the heavens, it was about seeking order and meaning in the cosmos. Their legacy lives on in today's research, proving that science is a cumulative effort built layer by layer over generations. By revisiting these ancient records, we not only honor their contributions but also gain a deeper understanding of the universe's dynamic nature. It's a testament to the enduring power of observation and the timeless quest to explore the unknown. For centuries, humanity's understanding of the universe was shaped by the idea that Earth stood at the center of everything. This geocentric model, championed by ancient thinkers like Ptolemy, seemed to make sense after all. It's what our eyes tell us as we watch the sun, moon, and stars move across the sky. But in the 16th century, a Polish astronomer named Nicolaus Copernicus dared to question this deeply ingrained belief. He proposed something revolutionary, the idea that the sun, not the Earth, was at the center of our cosmic neighborhood. This heliocentric model was a seismic shift in thought, upending centuries of established doctrine. At the time, it was a controversial and even dangerous idea, challenging not just scientific understanding but also religious and philosophical beliefs. Yet, Copernicus's work laid the foundation for modern astronomy, fundamentally altering how we see our place in the universe. His groundbreaking book on the revolutions of the heavenly spheres, published in 1543, was a turning point that sparked what we now call the Copernican revolution. This wasn't just about changing a diagram of the solar system. It was about opening our minds to the possibility that there's much more to the cosmos than meets the eye. The ripple effects of his ideas can still be felt today, reminding us that progress often requires challenging the status quo and embracing new perspectives. Copernicus's legacy is a testament to the power of curiosity and the courage to rethink what we think we know. Long before the invention of telescopes or satellites, ancient astronomers relied on ingenious tools to map the skies and track celestial movements. One of the earliest and most widely used instruments was the sundial, a simple yet effective device that measured time by observing the position of the sun's shadow. Though often seen as a basic tool today, sundials were a marvel of early engineering, allowing civilizations like the Egyptians and Greeks to organize their days and seasons with remarkable precision. But they didn't stop there. As their understanding of the cosmos grew, so did the complexity of their instruments. Take, for example, the astrolabe, a sophisticated device used by Islamic astronomers during the Middle Ages. This handheld tool could calculate the positions of stars, predict the rising and setting of the sun, and even determine the time of day, all with incredible accuracy for its time. Another groundbreaking invention was the quadrant, a large quarter-circle instrument used to measure angles between celestial objects. These tools weren't just about curiosity, they were essential for navigation, agriculture, and even religious practices. What's truly remarkable is how these ancient scientists worked with limited resources and technology, yet managed to create devices that were both functional and elegant. Their ingenuity reminds us that innovation often begins with what's available, and their discoveries paved the way for the advanced instruments we use today. These ancient tools weren't just stepping stones in the history of science, they were the foundation upon which modern astronomy was built. Claudius Ptolemy, a name etched deeply into the annals of astronomy, crafted a vision of the cosmos that would shape scientific thought for over 1,000 years. Born in the 2nd century, Ptolemy proposed a geocentric model of the universe, placing Earth firmly at its center with the sun, moon, planets, and stars orbiting around it. While we now know this model was fundamentally incorrect, it wasn't just a guess. It was a meticulously crafted system based on detailed observations and mathematical calculations. Ptolemy's work, compiled in his magnum opus, the Almagest, was a masterpiece of its time. He didn't just describe the heavens, he tried to explain them, introducing concepts like epicycles and deference to account for the complex movements of planets. For centuries, his model was the gold standard, used by scholars, navigators, and even religious leaders to understand the cosmos. What makes Ptolemy's legacy so fascinating isn't just the longevity of his ideas, but the fact that his work, though flawed, laid the groundwork for the scientific method. He showed the importance of careful observation, systematic analysis, and the willingness to build on past knowledge. Even when his conclusions were wrong, his approach was revolutionary. Ptolemy's story is a testament to the idea that science isn't about being right from the start. It's about asking questions, testing ideas, and learning from mistakes. His geocentric model may have been replaced by the heliocentric vision of Copernicus and Galileo, but the principles he championed remain at the heart of how we explore the universe today. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the tools we use to explore the cosmos have transformed beyond recognition. Yet, the spirit of curiosity that drove ancient astronomers like Ptolemy, Hipparchus, and the Babylonians still fuels our efforts today. Modern technology, from advanced satellites to powerful space telescopes like the Hubble and James Webb, owes a debt to the foundational work of these early stargazers. They were the first to map the heavens, track celestial movements, and ask fundamental questions about our place in the universe. Today, we're not just mapping the stars, we're peering into the heart of distant galaxies, uncovering the secrets of black holes, and even searching for signs of life beyond Earth. But here's the fascinating part. The principles laid down by ancient astronomers still form the backbone of modern astrophysics. Take, for example, the way we use star charts. Ancient astronomers created intricate celestial maps to predict planetary positions. Now, we use sophisticated software to navigate spacecraft across the solar system, guided by the same celestial mechanics they once studied. Even the concept of studying light from distant objects, a cornerstone of modern astronomy, traces its roots back to early observations of the night sky. This seamless blend of ancient wisdom and cutting-edge technology reminds us that science is a journey, not a destination. Each discovery builds on the last, creating a bridge across centuries. While our tools have grown exponentially more complex, the questions we ask remain timeless. Who are we? Where do we come from? And what lies beyond the stars? In this way, the legacy of ancient astronomy continues to inspire and shape our exploration of the cosmos, proving that the past and the future are more connected than we might think. The stars have always been more than just points of light in the sky. They've been a mirror reflecting the deepest questions of human existence. For ancient astronomers, studying the heavens wasn't just a scientific pursuit, it was a philosophical journey. They looked up at the night sky and wondered, what is the true nature of the universe? Is it eternal, or does it have a beginning and an end? Where do we, as humans, fit into this vast cosmic tapestry? These questions didn't just shape early astronomy, they laid the groundwork for the way we approach science today. Think about it. Every time we send a probe to Mars or peer into the depths of a distant galaxy, we're still asking those same fundamental questions. We might have better tools and more data now, but the essence of our curiosity remains unchanged. Ancient philosophers like Aristotle and Pythagoras saw the cosmos as a place of order and harmony, governed by elegant principles. Their ideas influenced generations of thinkers, blending science and philosophy into a single quest for understanding. Today, we might use quantum mechanics or general relativity to explain the universe, but at its core, we're still searching for that same sense of order and meaning. This intersection of astronomy and philosophy reminds us that science isn't just about collecting facts, it's about interpreting them, about finding connections that help us make sense of the world and our place in it. Whether you're an astrophysicist or someone who simply gazes at the stars in wonder, you're part of this timeless conversation. And in this way, the ancient pursuit of understanding the cosmos continues to unite us all. Ancient astronomers didn't have telescopes or satellites, but what they did have was a profound sense of curiosity and a willingness to observe the world around them. They looked at the patterns of the stars, the movements of the planets, and the cycles of the moon, and they recorded their findings with incredible precision. These early observations weren't just about understanding the cosmos, they were about creating a shared language of knowledge. Cultures from Mesopotamia to China, from Greece to the Americas, all contributed pieces to this vast puzzle. And here's the fascinating part. They often arrived at similar conclusions, even though they were separated by vast distances and had no way of communicating with one another. This tells us something crucial about the nature of science. It's a universal endeavor, driven by a shared desire to understand the world. The work of ancient astronomers also teaches us the value of collaboration. While we might think of science as a solitary pursuit, history shows us that it's anything but. From the astronomers of the Islamic Golden Age who preserved and expanded upon Greek knowledge, to the Mayans who meticulously tracked the movements of Venus, progress has always depended on the exchange of ideas across cultures and generations. These lessons from the past are more relevant than ever. In a world where scientific breakthroughs often come from global teams working together, we're continuing this tradition of collective effort. By looking back at the achievements of ancient astronomers, we're reminded that science isn't just about individual genius, it's about building on the work of those who came before us and inspiring those who will come after. Their legacy isn't just written in the stars, it's woven into the very fabric of how we approach discovery today. The stars that once guided ancient navigators and inspired early astronomers now serve as waypoints for an entirely new era of exploration. Today, we're building on the foundations laid thousands of years ago, using cutting-edge technology to ask questions those early stargazers could only dream of. Take exoplanets, for example, the world's orbiting stars beyond our solar system. Just a few decades ago, their existence was purely theoretical. Now, thanks to instruments like the Kepler and James Webb Space Telescopes, we've discovered thousands of these distant planets, some of which might even harbor the ingredients for life. This isn't just science fiction, it's science in action, driven by the same curiosity that led ancient astronomers to chart the heavens. But our exploration doesn't stop at planets. Astronomers today are also grappling with some of the universe's biggest mysteries, like the nature of dark matter and dark energy. These invisible forces make up the vast majority of the cosmos, yet we still know very little about them. It's a humbling reminder that, despite our advanced tools and knowledge, the universe still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. And here's where the past meets the future. The methods we use to study these phenomena, mathematics, observation, and collaboration, are the same principles that guided our ancestors. The tools have changed, but the spirit of inquiry remains the same. This connection between past and future isn't just inspiring, it's essential. By remembering the contributions of those who came before us, we're reminded that we're part of a much larger story, a story that's still being written. Every discovery we make, every question we answer, and every mystery we uncover adds another chapter to this ongoing narrative. So, as we gaze up at the same stars that ancient astronomers once studied, we're not just looking at the past, we're looking at the future, a future shaped by the enduring legacy of human curiosity and the endless pursuit of knowledge. From the earliest stargazers who mapped the heavens with nothing but their eyes to the modern scientists peering into the depths of space with powerful telescopes, the story of astronomy is a journey of relentless curiosity and innovation. It's a story that spans millennia, connecting cultures across time and space, all united by a shared wonder for the cosmos. The ancient Babylonians, Egyptians, and Greeks laid the groundwork with their observations and theories, while today's astronomers build on that legacy with technology that pushes the boundaries of what we thought possible. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a reminder of how far we've come and how much further we can go. Every discovery, whether it's a new planet, a distant galaxy, or a fundamental law of physics, is a step forward in our collective quest to understand the universe. And as we continue to explore, we're not just uncovering the secrets of the cosmos, we're also learning more about ourselves. The stars have always been more than just points of light in the sky. They're a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest questions and aspirations. So, as we look to the future, let's carry forward the spirit of those who came before us, the stargazers, the thinkers, the dreamers who dared to ask what's out there. Together, we can continue to explore, discover, and marvel at the wonders of the universe. Join us in this journey by subscribing and sharing, because the cosmos is vast and the adventure is just beginning.